in its ability to increase the glutathione in the liver. So again, it's very important that these foods be eaten raw. Now there's also glutathione in raw meat, but when you cook it, again, it's destroyed. There's glutathione in raw milk, but when it's pasteurized and when it's heated, the glutathione is destroyed. So, and there's no glutathione in most grains. There are also a number of nutrients and supplements that support the liver and support the glutathione levels in the body. The first one I want to mention is sulfur, and the supplement form of this is known as MSM, and this is methylsulfonyl methane. It's a natural source of sulfur, and if your detoxing dosages would range actually as high as 20 grams per day, you would want to break that up, say take 5 milligrams at a time, because 5,000 milligrams at a time, because it's very water soluble. And if you took more than that at once, it would, your body wouldn't be able to absorb it. So if you took, say, 5,000 milligrams 4 times a day, if you are trying to help your body detox. Foods that are high in sulfur are, of course, garlic and onions, and all of your cruciferous vegetables like the cabbage and Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and also things like asparagus and kale. And another important nutrient that raises a glutathione level is cysteine. There is a product called NAC, N-acetylcysteine, which helps raise glutathione levels, and in fact, because it is so powerful, the FDA actually recognizes NAC as a proven remedy to treat alcoholic liver disease and also acetaminophen toxicity, because acetaminophen is one of the major enemies, as well as alcohol. These are the major enemies that damage the liver. Also, nutrients to help raise glutathione and support the liver would be your omega-3 fatty acids, and you could get this in either a fish oil or a flax oil supplement, or by, of course, eating your healthy fatty fish like salmon and halibut and tuna steak. And the other ingredient that's very important for detox is alpha lipoic acid. Again, proven to increase glutathione levels and support the health of the liver. So a few more very important nutrients include the B vitamins, especially B12, B6, and folate. Another important ingredient is selenium, and you only need about 200 micrograms a day, which is actually the amount that would be provided in just 2 Brazil nuts a day. Another important nutrient, actually it's an herb that supports the liver, is milk thistle, and it is scientifically shown to again increase those glutathione levels in the liver. Vitamin C also increases glutathione levels, and finally curcumin, which is found in Indian curry, very potent antioxidants found to support the health of the liver. So what we're going to do next is I want to show you an excellent way to prepare spinach. And it's actually in a hot meal, but you're not cooking the spinach. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is, I call this my green spinach pesto pasta. And what we're going to do is I'm going to turn on the pasta water, get that going. Add a little bit of salt to the water. Got some sea salt. And I'm going to add a good hefty teaspoon right into the water. And of course, when that's boiling, I will be adding my pasta in. So while that is heating up, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take 3 cloves of garlic, And we don't need to, we just need to get the paper off. And that's going to go into the processor. We don't need to chop it because the processor will do the work. And one more. Of course, garlic is one of the things that's very high in sulfur and is shown to raise glutathione. And then we're going to add some goat cheese. Now, I choose goat cheese because one, it has double the protein of cow cheese and it has half the saturated fat. So we're just going to take 4 ounces, and I've got this one here happens to have herbs in it. You could use plain or the herbed kind. I'm just going to put that right into the processor. And it just adds great flavor, lots of protein. Now, of course, on the pasta, we're using a whole grain pasta, so there's going to be a lot of protein in there as well. And we are going to add a little bit of sea salt. Not quite a teaspoon. And we're going to add about, that's about 4 ounces. We need a little bit more than that. And we'll just turn it on and turn that into a wonderful, beautiful pesto. Now I'm just going to scrape down the sides because I want to make sure there's no hidden chunks of garlic in there. Because being the garlic is raw, you want to make sure that it's pulverized nice and fine. So it sounds like the water's going, so I'm going to go check on the water. So our water's ready for our pasta. It's getting a good boil on it here. And so we're just gonna I've got whole wheat rotini noodles. Now you could use penne, you could use other types of noodles, but this is a whole wheat pasta. And I'm just gonna make sure that that's got enough room to cook up. And probably takes about maybe 10 minutes. And while that's cooking, we're just gonna go back and finish our sauce. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the rest of our spinach and we're just going to give it a light chop and put it into our serving bowl and mix it in with our pesto. What's going to happen is we're going to add the pasta when it's nice and hot onto the spinach, and it's going to wilt it, but we're actually not going to cook it. So we just put that right into our bowl, and then we're going to add our pesto. Now this does have a pretty strong garlic flavor, and if you don't like that sharp, garlic bite, you certainly could reduce it to 1 or 2 cloves. But as you know, if you've ever watched our show, we like it hot around here. So 3 cloves of garlic for us is just fine. I'm just going to toss this together. We're going to be adding our cooked pasta noodles. And then the last thing we're going to add is some Parmesan cheese. So our whole grain pasta is done to perfect al dente. You don't want it mushy. And we're not going to strain it. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're just going to scoop it out and put it right into our spinach pesto. And that spinach, or the pasta water, just kind of helps. There's some starch in there that just kind of helps bring everything together. So we'll just get the rest of the pasta in there. And then don't throw out this water until you know that it's, after we put the cheese in, you know, it gets all melted, and you might find that you want to add a little bit more water. So just set that aside until we know that we're done with it. So I'm going to go ahead and add about 3 ounces of Parmesan cheese, and then we're just going to mix this together. So you saw how much spinach we started out with, and it just kind of all shrinks down. And then when you serve it, of course, you can add a little bit more Parmesan on top if you like. But I'm just going to give this a taste. Wonderful spinach pasta. That is one of my favorites. It's so good. All that spinach in there, and you know, it just doesn't feel like you're eating a lot of spinach, but you are. So I do thank you for joining us today on Recipes for Life. I hope that you learned a little bit more about detoxification and how you can help the body do the job it was already designed to do by God. The Bible says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made in Psalms 139. And the body is very good at taking care of us. But there are times when, you know, we need to help, and we need to quit doing so much of the things that hurt the body. You know, the alcohol, the acetaminophen, other types of, all pharmaceutical drugs have to go through the liver, and that's hard on the liver. And also trans fats is another thing that is the hydrogenated oils. It's very hard on the liver. The liver has to, you know, figure out what to do with these basically foreign chemicals to the body. Detox is very important. From a biblical standpoint, I also think of, it's in 2 Peter, but it's also in a number of times in Leviticus, where the body says, "Be holy, for I am holy." And detoxing is about purifying the body, getting rid of the toxins. So, you know, there's a spiritual, natural analogy there that is very appealing to me. So again, I bless you. I bless your health. Please visit our website, www.blpublications.com. And we hope to see you again soon on Recipes for Life.